Morning all. Hello, welcome. It's a new weight loss week. It is Monday, the 2nd of February. Jan's done and done. The 97 days of January is over. And we are here. New month. Same old story, isn't it, really? New month, same old. On the journey. Not for me. Mine's changing a little bit over the next 10 weeks. But for most of you guys, yes. Same old, head down. Let's go. Let's get at it as always. I hope you've all had a great weekend. I've had a really good weekend. Very chill, very chill indeed. Our kind of social calendar has ramped up a little bit. It will do over the next month. We were out last night for a curry. Which was really nice. And then we are out on Sunday for Sunday lunch with some friends. And then we've just got a few bits and pieces on, but nothing major. I like to keep Jan Feb as boring as possible, which is just really good for weight loss. It really is. And look, if you can't keep Jan Feb boring, it doesn't mean you can't make progress, but you have to build what you're doing into your weight loss journey. If you want to make progress, it really is. It really is, that simple. But yeah, I've had a really good, nice chilled weekend. Let's go straight in. Let's do top 5 this morning on TikTok, and then we'll carry on waffling on. Callum's in at number 1, losing number 2, Jackie's in at number 3, Tina's in at number 4, and Claire is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Good morning to you all. Thanks for jumping straight to the live, coming in and saying hello. Who else is in? Michelle's in, Kelly C, Steph G, C, Faye, Maddie, Natalie, Paul is in. Morning. Yasmin's in on YouTube as well. Mr. John Jackson's in. Maureen's in. Good morning. Anna, Clary Fairy, David's in. Everyone's popping up to say hello. Sheila's in. Good morning. And Cheryl and Katie. Morning. Can't get in for MOT today. Hate it, so stressful. I need to book our car in for an MOT. It's its first one, so hopefully it'll just ping straight through. But we lease our cars through the business. Our car through the business. Its lease actually ends this month, but we've decided to extend. There's nothing we really like our car. There's nothing wrong with it. It's only 3 years old, so we've just extended the lease by 6 months, and then we're just going to keep looking. If anything pops up that we like in the meantime, we'll order it. If not, we might extend it for another 6 months. But it needs to go in for its MOT, and I've totally forgotten its MOT. I think we needed MOT by the 1st of Feb. So I know I just need to message the garage today. I'm positive I've read somewhere that if as long as you've got it booked in for an MOT, they're a bit lenient with you for a week or two. I don't know. The wife's driving it. She can get the points if he ain't jump for it. No idea. Anyway, I'll get it in this week. Anyway, as soon as possible. It can be stressful though, So there we go. I've reached my goal weight today. Altogether, I've lost 40 kilograms. Sandra, that's absolutely amazing. 40 kg is a tremendous amount of weight. You're at what there? 80, 90 pounds loss. Over 6 stone. Unbelievable, Sandra. Fantastic. Now you've got to work on that maintenance. The journey doesn't end with maintenance, and that's where some people can go wrong. Whatever you were doing to lose weight, it should have built the habits up that stay in place, and now you can just maintain your losses. It doesn't mean you don't need to work at it. It doesn't mean it's not hard work. It is, but it'll all be worth it in the end. But that's amazing weight loss. Really well done. Let me scan down. I think I've said all my good mornings. So yeah, so there we go. So yeah, it's a little new era for me today, only for about 10 weeks. So I weighed myself on Friday. It was my official check-in 2 of 2026. So check-in 1 of 2026 was on the 16th of January. So I weighed myself on the 2nd of January. I had gained 13.2 pounds from Christmas. Quite standard for me. I'm normally up around that number after Christmas. Check-in 2, the 16th of January, 2 weeks later, I'd lost 12.2 of those 16 pounds. I've done nothing special, nothing different. I've just been back to my plan, back to my calories, back to my steps, back to getting my protein in, getting my fiber in, prioritizing my journey, sticking to my calorie deficit. And 12.2 of those 13 pounds came off, which for me was all my food and water weight from Christmas and a reasonable amount of body fat that I gained from Christmas. Still £1 up. So that was my mission over the next 2 weeks. Wanting to get rid of that, wanting to get back down to what I call pre-Christmas weight. So the last weight I was, which was on the 19th of December. I can't remember if it was the 19th or the 20th of December. I know that's the last time I weighed myself for 2025. Anyway, weighed myself on Friday morning and I was another £4 off, which is all body fat loss because I'd already flushed out my water weight, water retention. And although actually over the last couple of weeks, I don't feel I've been superb with hydration, I've certainly not been bad. So that will have all been. I don't think there's any extra food or water weight to come off from Christmas. So £4 of body fat, and that aligns with my calorie deficit. I've been in a 7,000 calorie deficit a week for the last 2 weeks. Fat loss, weight loss is maths. It's just numbers. You stick to the numbers, you'll get the results, right? Nothing stops you. Nothing. If you're like, well, I can't lose weight because I've got this, I can't lose weight. No. What you might have might stop you being consistent. But if you hit your numbers, you'll lose the pounds. It really is that simple. So another £4 down. So I'm £3 lighter than post Christmas than I was before Christmas. And actually, the lightest I've been for a long, long time. I think at Christmas, the lightest I've been was around the mid-November, I think, and I was about £1 less than that on Friday. So I'm going into more of a muscle building phase now. Can you build muscle in a calorie deficit? Yes, absolutely you can. If you're an experienced pro bodybuilder with ridiculous amounts of muscle, can you build muscle in a calorie deficit? No, because you're generally going to be very lean. You're not going to have a lot of excess body fat, and so you will require fuel from food to progress your workouts enough to break muscle down enough for your body to adapt to build new muscle, basically. But if you are carrying a bit of excess timber, and I still am, I'm still 17.5 stone, so I'm still carrying probably a good, until I get down to a point where my body's like, you've got no excess body fat, I'm probably carrying an extra couple of stones still, probably. Right? Now, I'm not that bothered about being any lighter than I am now. That extra couple of stone of body fat that I might be carrying, it's not going to make me unhealthy. It's not going to put an adverse stress on my body in terms of overall health. It is the weight that I'm carrying around. But my body fat percentage is about 21.5%, something like that. So until it gets down to around 16, 17%, my body's going to be happy to use the excess fat that I have in my body as extra energy. So I'm going to build some muscle. I'm still going to be in a calorie deficit, but I'm going to go from a 7,000 calorie deficit a week to a 1,500 calorie deficit a week over the next 10 weeks. So my body fat loss is going to be very small, right? And my muscle gain is going to be very small, because you don't gain muscle that quickly. You know, saw a guy the other day, I know him, and he's got on this super duper plan for the last 6 months. He was like, this plan's allowed me to lose X amount of fat, which it will have done, but I've also gained 7 kilograms of muscle in 6 months. And I was like, absolutely no chance of you gained 18 kilos of muscle there's just like, unless he's on and he's not on gear. I can tell by looking at him. So no, males can gain anything up to potentially £2 a month if they're not very experienced with training, but normally it's about £1 a month if your diet's on absolute point, you're getting enough protein in, and your training's good. Females are getting about £1 a month if they're not very experienced. If they are inexperienced, maybe about £0.5 a month, something like that. Muscle building is a slow process. It really, really is. So anyway, and I'm going to aim to build over the next 10 weeks going to shock my body a little bit. I started a little bit last week of flipping heck. I was in agony on Friday. I trained really hard on Thursday, and I'm going to train hard today, heavy. For me, personally, a bit heavier than I would do normally. So yeah, we're going to give it a bit. We're going to give it a bit over the next 10 weeks. So I should be able to gain 3 pounds of muscle, I think, in 10 weeks, because I'm going to be absolutely on it. But that should definitely, any more than that's a bonus. Any more than that's a bonus. So that's the thing. I'm going to increase my calories by 600 a day just through protein shakes. So my food eating is going to stay the same, and I'm not going to track my protein shakes. I will be weighing them, so they'll be exactly 300 calories, and I'm going to have 2, but I'm not going to track them because I don't want to get out of the habit of tracking to 2,600 calories a day. That's the habit I'm in at the moment. And I'm probably at times going to have to force these shakes down a little bit because I don't feel that hungry eating 2,600, and that's why I'm not gonna. That's why I'm not gonna. Put any pressure on myself as it like. That's why I'm doing it with protein shakes rather than solid food. Protein shakes fill me up over time, but I find them very easy to drink. Right, to get down. So I'm still gonna like today I'm still gonna do a 1,600 calorie day in terms of kind of food, as it were, and but with an additional 600 calories of protein shakes. Does that kind of make sense? It works in my head because in 10 weeks time I'm going to go back to 2,600 calories a day tracking. So I won't get out the habit of that. I'm just going to be slamming these 2 protein shakes down my neck. So what will happen to the scales for me personally? I'm probably going to go up to 18.5 stone. I might gain a stone over the next 10 weeks, which I'm absolutely fine with because my body fat should still it will come down a smidge, though I'm using Renpho scales to measure it, which is really inaccurate. But my body fat should still come down a smidge. So the excess weight will be food weight, water weight. Then go to Benidorm for 4 or 5 days, which is going to be a bit of a drinky, boozy, eaty one. So I reckon when I come back from Benidorm, I could be back to 19 stone. Could be back up to 19. So a lot of people are panicking at that. They'll be like 20 pounds up in 10 weeks. You've worked so hard. It's not fat gain. Some of it in Benidorm will be, right? Some of it in Benidorm will be a little bit. It's not fat gain. And then in April, when I go back into my 2,600 a day calorie deficit, I'll end up with like the same whoosh that I've had from Christmas. I'll probably drop 12 pounds in the first couple of weeks. Boom. Right? And it'll probably come right down. And even if it doesn't, as long as my body fat doesn't really change, I'm not asked. I'm genuinely not that bothered. I'm genuinely not that bothered. Anyway, there we go. That's my plan over the next 10 weeks. I will keep you up to date. Remember, every week I do the weekly weight loss vlog. The new one will be out tomorrow. And I'm going to I think I might rebrand it to the weekly weight loss-ish vlog, because over the next 10 weeks, we're not really going to see much weight loss. We're going to see maintains, first checking gains, and then really maintains or slight gains. I reckon the scales will bump 8 pounds in the first couple of weeks. And then probably every week after that, maybe a pound gain, half a pound gain, maybe something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you informed. I will keep you informed. So that's my mission over the next few weeks. I'm just waiting after starting Friday, and I'm 2 pounds down. Brilliant, Julia. Julia started on plan. Well, technically, Julia started on plan today, but I sent a plan over to her maybe on Friday, or she's just decided to give herself. I can't remember. Actually, I might have sent it Saturday. You planned, Julia. But anyway, Julia's decided to start on Friday. Now, my clients check in, weigh in every clientele. My clients check in every Friday. That isn't the start of a week. It's not the end of a week. A week starts on a Monday. A weekend will always be Saturday, Sunday. Now, that can vary a little bit depending on if you work shifts. You know, some people might be like, no, my weekend's Wednesday, Thursday, because those are my days off because I work all weekend, week in, week out, whatever. Right? But for most people, we start on a Monday. I don't want to get into Slimming World mentality with people. I don't want, Friday's weigh-in day, so I'll starve myself Thursday so I can weigh in Friday. No, Friday's just irrelevant of what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Is just one of the most accurate days to weigh. Now, Julia's weighed this morning and she got back into things. Monday's a terrible day to weigh, and we need to leave the scales alone. We shouldn't be chasing numbers on the scale. right? I recommend with my clients you weigh in every 2 weeks on a Friday morning. Now, if you can't weigh on a Friday, you can weigh on a Thursday, you can weigh on a Saturday. Why are Fridays pretty accurate for weighing, especially when you're following my plan? Because I teach flexibility and freedom around eating. Julia, can I talk a little bit about your journey? I won't tell any specifics. No one needs to know your weight or anything like that. But Julie's just come on plan with me. And Julie's lost quite a lot of weight. And she's used a weight loss method to lose that weight. But from that weight loss method, and she's lost a tremendous amount of weight, she started to regress backwards. And then she's come on plan with me. We're going to nip that in the bud, right? So Julia she's local to me. She lives in my village. And Julia has lost 4 stone, correct me if I'm wrong, around about 4 stone. And I didn't know how she'd done that until she informed me on Saturday. And she's done that using the Cambridge plan. Now, the Cambridge plan is an extremely restrictive weight loss method. And they gloss it all up and it's great. And you just, you have, and it's changed over the years. And it might be slightly different now, but the whole premise around it is having about 800 calories a day. I've worked with several clients in the past that have done the same Cambridge plan. And the last client I worked with that came to me after the Cambridge plan was probably pre-COVID. It's not a very popular thing anymore. I don't even know if it'll disappear. Certainly from things like the weight loss injections coming out, some of these plans that have been around a good while, like Cambridge, they will go pop. I don't think Slimming World. Well, I don't know about Slimming World. I think it's on the fence a little bit. And Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers very big in America, not that big over here compared to like Slimming World. But anyway, Cambridge plan, and it used to be a shake or a bar for breakfast, around about 200 calories, shake or bar for lunch, and then you can have a 400 calorie tea. 800 calories a day, eating 3 times a day, stupidly restrictive, stupidly unhealthy. I actually worked with a client when I first started personal training in 2018 who had done the Cambridge plan for 9 months, stuck to it for 9, maybe 10 months, right? Lost a tremendous amount of weight. But from eating so little amounts of food for 9 months, it actually created a hormone imbalance where her period stopped. So her period stopped after being on the Cambridge plan for 4 months. She did it for a further 5 months after that. And we worked together for 6 months or so, and her periods never came back. They never came back. So that's how dangerous it can be, crash dieting. So many people are like, you're wrong when you say an adult shouldn't eat less than 1,600 calories a day. So Julie did for 7 months. Brutal. Now, Julie might have done it with a little bit of flex. And I think if you've done it for 7 months, you've got to do it with a little bit of flex. So you might have gone out for the odd meal here and there and gone, no, it's fine. I'll get back to it tomorrow and this, that, a little bit. Still, it is a brutal plan. And this is why, some woman had to go at me the other day. She was like, that is such a sweeping statement saying an adult shouldn't eat less than 1,600 calories a day. And I'm like, look, underfueling the body, right, is body fat, right, which is this stuff. This is body fat, right? When your body's never in a calorie deficit. Never. Right, your body is never in a calorie deficit, especially if you're fat, overweight. Yeah, because if you burn 3,000 calories a day, irrelevant of what you eat, your body will get 3,000 calories a day. Because if it doesn't get it from your fuel, right, it always gets it from your fat. I'm not going to go into the complexities of how the energy systems of the body, right? But basically, hang on, I've just dropped me fat and turned something on the computer. So your body's never in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit just describes consuming less calories than we burn, right? So if you eat, it's not this simple, but if you think of it this simple, if you burn 3,000 calories a day and you eat 1,500 calories a day, it gets 1,500 calories from food and then 1,500 calories from your stored energy to top it up to 3,000. All right. Now, if you don't have any excess body fat, this is where we can get what we call metabolic adaptation, where I eat 1,500 calories a day, I burn 3,000 calories a day. My body goes, right, I need an extra 1,500. Oh, I've not got any fat stores because I'm not overweight. What do I do now? Well, what I'll do now is I'll massively slow down someone's metabolism, and that's where you get things like hair loss and this, and that's all signs of hormone imbalance. So Julie's put there, no hormone loss. You will have had hormone, but very tired, like hormone imbalances. Classic signs of hormone imbalances: being cold more than you would be normally, hair just thinning a little bit, skin not being as good as it should be, being very tired. It's all a hormone imbalance, right? And that's why eating ridiculously low amounts of food just is really unhealthy for us. Anyway, Julie's lost a tremendous amount of weight. She stuck to the Cambridge plan for 7 months, right? But like all fad diets, eventually we crash and burn. We can't stick to them any longer, and that's when we start to regress. So we go from being X to Y, and then from Y back to X. Julie's come on my plan, and we're nipping that in the bud. And basically, with my plan, I teach a lot of flexibility and freedom around eating, because life is flexible. Life is reactive at times. We can be proactive. Life is reactive. We're not robots, right? That's a big thing to remember. We're not robots. We don't do the same things day in, day out on repeat. Some people might, but not a lot of us do. But that doesn't mean we don't have routine. Like today, it's Monday. I do a live in the morning. I'll finish this live. I'll go to the gym. I'll finish at the gym and I'll go and do like a bigger shot because it's Monday, a little bit of a reset shop. I do it every Monday, right? I'll come home, right? I'll record my weekly weight loss vlog. I'll work through probably doing some progress sheets. I'll do a bit of admin. I'll get back to any clients that I've not got back to over the weekend. I think I've cleared my WhatsApp out already, so that's sort of good. And blah, 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 blah. Then I'll make tea, or I'll walk the dogs. And then I finish tea, then I'll jump in the shower, and then I'm back in here at 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight to do another live. Very, very much a routine, right? But like today, different. I need to get my hair cut. So instead of finishing this live and then going to the gym, right, I'm going to go and get my hair cut. Right, and you might be like, well, let's just get your hair. I know it is, but it's a slight change of routine. My routine does change slightly. So do I go and get my haircut every single Monday? No. Do I go to the gym every single Monday? Yeah, 9 times out of 10. Well, 10 times out of 10, to be honest with you. It's very rare I don't. Do I do this live every Monday? Pretty much, yeah, unless it's a bank holiday, right? Or I'm on holiday. Yeah, at least probably 46 weeks of the year. 45 weeks of the year on a Monday, I'm sat here doing this. But there are slight changes. So we need to have a weight loss method that can roll with those slight changes. And we don't want to be restricted. We don't want to be overtired. I don't want to be cold all the time. Don't get me wrong. There are signs that you're in a calorie deficit, that you are, a little bit colder. Because at the end of the day, you're losing insulation from your body, and there's lots of signs that you're losing body fat, not just from the scales. Your fat that can be quite firm at times will go quite jiggly. I've always got jiggly fat, right? I'm don't get wrong, I've still got quite a lot of loose skin on my body from my weight loss, but like I've been in a severe calorie deficit. But at Christmas, when I'm eating more food, my body firms up a little bit, and your stomach pushes out a little bit. It's weird how the body reacts to it, Anyway, so Julie's lost a lot of weight. She's regressed a little bit. We need to nip that in the bud because she's still a good bit down from where she started. And then we just need to get Julia back into it. Now, Julia's lost 2 pounds there over the weekend. Has she lost 2 pounds of body fat? No. And I'm not trying to piss on Julia's chips here. I'm just trying to educate, right? And you might be like, why has she not lost 2 pounds body? It's been 2 days, right? I've put Julia in, if she's sticking to my calories, in a 3,500 calorie deficit. Now, if she's on it, she's very accurate with the tracking and the movement's good. She could probably push that a little bit to around about a 5,000 calorie deficit. But even if she's been in a 5,000 calorie deficit, she started Friday, that was 48 hours ago, right? Or 72. If she started Friday morning, 72 hours ago, right? So even if Julia was in a 5,000 calorie deficit this week on average, and we divide that by 7 and times it by 3, she's been in a 2,000 calorie deficit. That would be just over half a pound of body fat, and she's lost 2. So what's the 2 pound that Julia's lost? Excess food weight, excess water weight, because her averages are up because she's been eating a bit more recently and getting back on it. So that's coming out. It's still weight loss. Still weight loss, right? It is still weight loss, but if Julia leaves the scales alone now and weighs in a week on Friday, which is when her next check-in is, she might see a 7 or 8 pound loss, right? Again, it's not fat loss. Some of it will be from being in a calorie deficit. We call that a whoosh. We get a whoosh at the start of our journey because our average food weight, average water weight, water retention all reduces in the body when we go on to a new sort of weight loss method, as it were, alongside some fat loss. Once that, as long as we're being consistent, then it gets down to fat loss, and then we'll just see a pound or two every check-in coming off, which again is healthy, sustainable fat loss, right? Everyone's chasing numbers. Everyone wants to lose 5 pounds a week. Doesn't work like that, right? So why do I recommend weighing on a Friday? Because certainly for my philosophy, Monday to Friday, it is quite routine. Everything's structured, and that makes weight loss a lot easier. But then Saturday, Sunday, structure can go out the window a little bit. It might be where you want to go out for a meal on a Sunday night. It might be where you want to go out for Sunday dinner. You might just want to cook a nice big family Sunday dinner with a bit of apple crumble and custard. We tend to always eat slightly more at the weekend, and we tend to always want to do things that are slightly more calorific at the weekend. And that increases excess food weight, excess water weight, excess water retention in the body. It won't increase excess body fat because you're in a calorie deficit on average, but it will cause quite big fluctuations in the body. And those fluctuations will definitely show on a Monday morning. Now, Julie's in the honeymoon period of coming on plan with me, so she's probably been on it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably the same as what she might be during the week. And I get that. That's why we call it the honeymoon period. That honeymoon period will die off. Right. And eventually you're like, no, do you know what? Sunday, I want to go to the boot. I want to have a roast dinner. I want to have pudding. Or I want to go up to the next village and have dinner and have a pudding and this, that, and that. And you can do, as long as it all fits in with calories. But if you're most of the time eating 1,700 calories a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on a Sunday, because of the way I coach weight loss, you eat 3,000 calories, which you can do. It's all about, I recommend people stick to weekly weight target, weekly calorie targets, weekly step targets, and then we look at dailies as averages over that week. That what builds up flexibility. But if I weighed myself this morning, I've been absolutely on it. I've lost 16.2 pounds in the last 4 weeks. I weighed myself Friday and I was 4 pounds down. If I weighed myself this morning, that'd be back on. I went out last night, I had a curry, right? So I had poppadoms, mixed starter, chicken dough piazza, portion of pilau rice, half an naan bread, half a portion of chips, and then when I came home, I tried the new Matilda slices of cakes. I put them on my social media, and I've reviewed them for worth of calories. Watch this week's worth of calories, right? And I tried them, so I've had more carbs, more salt from going out for a meal. I could be 5 or 6 pounds heavier this morning than I was Friday, but it's not fat. I've been in a calorie deficit, right? It's just, so that's why I don't go near the scales on a Monday. Pointless. The next time I go near the scales will be a week on Friday, and I'm not even bothered about losing weight at the moment. Next 10 weeks, I'm just mixing it up a little bit. More protein going in. I can still build muscle in a calorie deficit. I can't build muscle without at least 200 grams of protein going into my body. That means I've got to up my calories. And that means I've got to shorten my calorie deficit, Don't get me wrong. I actually don't need to up my calories. I could massively increase my protein intake and reduce another macronutrient, fats and carbs. Don't want to. Can't be asked pissing about with that. Can't be asked tracking macros. Don't need to do it. It's irrelevant. So the easiest thing is make my calorie deficit smaller and just whack an extra load of protein into my system, 2 weeks off work, which is a big change and less distraction away from food. I'm proper focused, so not worried about it. Yeah, it is trickier. So being busy is a brilliant tool for weight loss. So many people use it as an excuse to not stick to the journey. I'm just too busy at the moment. Being busy is a superpower, right? Because you're thinking about work, you're thinking about your kids, you're thinking about family, you're not thinking about food. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a big emotional eater, when you then get a minute to yourself, you'll use food as a distraction because life is busy. You might be more tired than normal. You might be a bit more stressed than normal. But if you're in a good place and you're doing well with your journey, being busy, we've got to stop seeing it as a negative. It is a positive. So when we take, like Jez has put there, he's got 2 weeks off from work. It is a big change. It's like you've got loads more time. A bit more time chilling, sat on the sofa, playing your Xbox. going out and about, driving it out and about. But that's what time off's for. So really, and this is why I coach weight loss breaks. All right. So anyone new to watching me or on my plan, I recommend you take a weight loss break every 12 to 14 weeks. I do about 3 or 4 lives on them every year. There's lives saved into the YouTube channel around weight loss breaks. There'll be podcasts around it as well. And I will do my next weight loss break live coming up to like Easter holiday. So another month or so. And I'll talk about the all important weight loss breaks. And a weight loss break is where you take a break from weight loss. Why? You need to, because your body adapts to weight loss, and you need to shock it. And this is absolute bollocks, absolute garbage, not nonsense, right? Why you need to take a weight loss break is you need to build weight loss into your everyday life. It shouldn't be this thing that sits to the side, right? Where it's, oh, God, I need to do my weight loss. Oh, God, I need to do my weight loss. Oh, God, I need to. No, it should just be part of your routine. Me sat here now doing this live, drinking water. Now, don't get me wrong, water doesn't cause fat loss, but it gets my organs going. It gets my body going. It gives me energy, good hydration. So that gives me motivation to do what I need to do, get my steps in, go thing. Natural appetite suppressant is water. So, and I don't think, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, my hydration went great last week, so I need to be better. But I'm just sat here sipping my water. It's part of my journey. It's what I've built into my life. Going to the gym after this, you don't need to train to lose body fat. But exercise for me is brilliant for my physical health, which means my day-to-day life is a piece of piss. And what I mean by things I need to do on my day-to-day life, walking the dogs a couple of times, walking around supermarkets, tidying up the house, cooking, cleaning. I don't go, oh, God, I've been on my feet an hour and I need to sit down for 2 hours because I'm physically fit, right? So it just makes everyday life a lot easier. So being physically fit is great. Being mentally fit is even better because I don't have any emotional eating. Oh, God, why has it been getting stressful today? Where's that Matilda cake that I reviewed last night? 4.5. Like, don't know why I started doing this. Started disconnecting. It might have been because I've got work going. I don't know if it's because I've got work going on in the house or I think Dan's just turned up. Yeah, we're still on with the bathroom. Life has been upside down for about a week and a bit now. Gym for mental health is great. It's the number one for me. It absolutely. And if I don't go to the gym for a few days, that's the one thing that starts to slip my mental health. I just know it keeps me on track, right? It keeps me on track. So it's absolutely amazing. Is it possible to lose weight with PCOS and breastfeeding? Yes, absolutely. 100%. So PCOS doesn't stop you losing weight. We've been led to believe it over the years. I've coached loads of females with PCOS to successful weight loss journeys. PCOS doesn't stop. Nothing stops you losing body fat. Nothing. Not the menopause, not PCOS. Those are the two big things I get from female clients, right? Obviously, I don't get those things from male clients because it's not something we suffer with, right? And I do work predominantly with females. I'm about an 80-20 split of female to male clients. And I get PCOS and I get menopause. It doesn't change a thing. Directly doesn't change a thing. What we need to understand about PCOS and the menopause is it's a type of hormone imbalance in the body. And PCOS here, nearly 11 stone down with Neil. There you go. Phase classic example. Right, so come on, plan. I'm running my offer, by the way, my New Year, New Me offer, because I just get really, time just disappears. I've not even advertised it. Right, I talk about it on my lives and I do it on my newsletter. I've not put it on my Instagram. I've not put it on my Facebook or anything. So I'm running it for the end till the end of this week. So it will end the 9th of February. It's going to end it on Wednesday. I'm going to end it. So you've got 1 week left. That's it. And then it's gone. All right. I run offers, obviously January because it's a busy time. And then I run offers when I'm quiet. Right. There's peaks and troughs with things like this. Do you know when it goes quiet next? Around end of April, early May. Goes fairly quiet. Right. And then there's a bit of an uptake after Easter. And then it goes a bit quiet over the summer holidays. Then September, October is really, really busy. Then it can kind of drop off. But then Black Friday kicks in. And then December, I couldn't be bothered about signing clients up. It's Christmas time. And then January kicks in. So if you want to come on plan with me and for a deal, this is the last time probably for about 10, 12 weeks before I'll be running another offer. So get involved. How do I work out calories? I struggle hitting calories and protein. You don't need to hit protein, right? Lottie, let's simplify it. Don't need to do that, so stop doing that. I've solved one problem for you. And if you struggle to hit calories, it's probably because you're trying to hit your protein, which will be too high. Stop doing that, and your calories are probably too low. Come on, plan with me, Lottie. I'll sort you out. 15 quid. That's all it is to sign up to my one-to-one plan. £15. I'll start you a week today. It's $29.99 a month. So you pay one in Feb, one in March, one in April. And as long as you complete your first 3 months, you'll get your 4th month free. Right? So 15 quid, $29.99 a month. I ask for a minimum 3 months commitment. All right. So you are tied in for 3 months, right? And you'll pay one in Feb, a subscription in Feb, one in March, one in April. Complete that. You won't play a sub in May, but you'll be covered until the beginning of June, really. See, June in 4 months. Feb, March, April, May. Yeah, you'll be covered till the beginning of June. And then after that, it's a rolling contract. If you want to carry on with me, carry on with me. If you don't, you don't. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Click on my link tree. Click on my one-to-one plan, monthly plan. Use code New Year, New Me at checkout. 15 quid's all you got to chuck in today, right? And we'll get you on plan. Yeah. So, but a lot of people that struggle to hit their calories are the too low, right? And it's just, and then especially if you've been given a protein target, I need you to eat 130 grams of protein and your calories are 1,500 calories a day. Well, protein is 4 calories a gram. So already you're needing to dedicate what? Nearly 50% of your calories to protein. Stupid. Absolute stupid. Garbage. Don't need to do any of that nonsense. Stop tracking protein macros, right? For fat loss, a high protein diet is fantastic because it fills us up. You don't need to be hitting bodybuilder amounts of protein to lose body, to suppress your appetite. Just make sure you've got a good whack of protein in each main meal. That'll do the job for you. I simplify things. Nothing's complicated with what I do. It doesn't need to be complicated. Why do a lot of coaches make fat loss complicated? Number 2, because they think that's how it works. They don't know themselves. They're stupid, right? And I'm not being disrespectful, right? But they genuinely can't logically look at something and go, do you know what? Doris here, she's a couple of stone overweight. She doesn't need to be a bodybuilder. She doesn't want to build stupid amounts of muscle. She wants to lose some fat. Now, I understand protein is great for appetite suppression. It's great for satiety. It's great for controlling, our hunger hormones. But she doesn't need to eat 130 grams a day. She run around after 2 grandchildren 3 days a week as if she needs that overcomplication. If Doris gets to a point where she's like, do you know what? I'm done with fat loss now or weight loss. I'm very, very happy and I want to get absolutely hench and go on stage and be the next Arnie. Then get and say, right, well, this is, if you want to get to that, then yes, we might need to be a bit more specific with nutrition. You might need to, but at the moment, you just want to lose a couple of stone, just prioritize protein with your main meals. So when you're having breakfast, swap your toast for some yogurt 5-6 days a week. If you love toast, have it on a Sunday morning. You can still have toast one day a week. It's fine. You can have toast you can have toast every day, right? Honestly, you can. What's the easiest way to prioritize protein, right? With every main meal, if you don't want protein actually on your plate. For example, you want a couple of slices of toast, wash it down with a protein shake, right? It really is that simple. No, I love having a couple of buttered crumpets in the morning, Neil, right? Well, 2 buttered crumpets is nearly 300 calories, right? Well, have a 100-calorie shake alongside it. Oh, that's 400 calories. I can't eat 400 calories for breakfast. I've only got 1,200 calories a day. Well, stop eating stupidly low amounts of protein. Right? Honestly, it really is. It doesn't need to be complicated. But like I say, a lot of coaches, PTs, they want to make it complicated because A, they want you to think it's harder than it actually is. And why they want you to think it's harder than it actually is, so you have this like, I need a coach because it's so complicated. They don't realize what people need is just a bit of support and accountability. And whether a plan is very, very simple or very, very complicated, the need for support and accountability will never, ever change. Will never, ever change, right? We've got a sign up this morning. Megan, thank you very much for coming on plan. Be like Megan. Megan sat there and made the best decision she's ever made on a Monday morning is by chucking 15 quid in and signing up to my one-to-one plan. If you're sat there unhappy and just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. Yeah, Neil's right. Everything is just overwhelming confidence. Do a Megan. Get signed up. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Click on my link tree. And monthly one-to-one plan. Code New Year, New Me. It's 15 quid. I'll have your plan over to you by Thursday, Friday, as long as the week goes right. But you'll certainly have it. We'll get you started on Monday. And then you'll be in a much better place. I lost a stone. Keep getting sulfur burps. Why is this? Are you using MJ Wegovy? Are you using weight loss jabs? Sue Coyle. Tell the group. It's all right. It's fine. Best decision I made joining one-to-one. Faced me with me for years. Can't remember how long. It's over 3. Faced me with me for years. She's over 11 stone down on plan. She's over 14 stone down. She's lost 3 stone. She came on plan with me. She's lost another 11, and she's absolutely smashing. You know, well on her way to be the most a client has ever lost on my plan is 199, or it might be 201. It's either 199 or 201 pounds. I'm not sure you're going to get there, Faye, on plan, because I don't think you need to. I think you weren't fat enough to start off with, basically. I think you're going to get there because you lost 3 stone previously to plan. I think you're going to blitz 200 pounds. You'll blitz it by summer, maybe. But I don't think that's your fault. I'm blaming you. You weren't fat enough when you came on plan. You should have been fatter, basically. You know. But you might do. I don't know. We'll have a look at some numbers. We'll have a look. I think you're only going to be another 50 pounds. Actually, you will do. Let me have a look at Faith. I think you can do another 50. I think for healthy weight loss, you can do more than that. But we only coach healthy, sustainable fat loss on plan. Let's see where Faith's at. She might actually blitz it. Let me get your overall progress sheet up. Oh, you're 151 down on plan now. Oh, yeah. No, I think so. Yeah. Faye, we're going to have you as number 1. We're going to have you as number 1. Right? We're going to have you as number 1. You told me I don't need to lose much. You don't, Maureen. You don't. And I'll be always honest with you. You know, when I get a client come on board, I'll always be honest. I'll tell you what you need to lose. And you might, no, I want to lose 2 stone. All right, nah. Well, not with me, you don't. All right? If you want to lose that, that's fine. But I only coach healthy, sustainable fat loss, you know. If only I'd known. You'd have had that extra cake before coming on plan, wouldn't you? I know. I just needed support. I lost 6 stone during lockdown, but since put it all back on since having a family. Brett, it's not from having a family. Why you've gained your 6 stone back is because the method you use to lose that 6 stone hasn't changed your lifestyle. When your lifestyle becomes what it is, whatever goes on in life afterwards will adapt, right? So I've lost, I'm currently about 20 stone down, 280 pounds down, right? And whatever life throws at me from, and when I ended my first weight loss phase, I was about 250 pounds down. And that was at the end of 2017. I've had life chuck lots at me from 2018, right? From the end of 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 20, whatever. I've had lots chucked at me that could have quite easily, I could have used as a, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying having a family isn't a big change, but if your lifestyle is being calorie control, there's loads of people that have kids that don't gain loads of weight. Right? And that's the honesty we have to have with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. There's loads of families out there that gain load, that have loads, you know, kids, and they weren't overweight before they had children, and now they've had children, they're still not overweight because it's their lifestyle is their lifestyle. And yet things, you know, a few sleepless nights for a good few months and this, that, and the other, but your lifestyle will adapt, and basically what your weight loss method that you used, it hasn't changed your lifestyle. You've managed to stick to it while things have been very maybe boring in COVID, but as soon as you've hit your brick wall, right, and life's changed slightly, everything's gone out the window. And that's just a classic sign of a poor weight loss method. All right. I coach healthy, sustainable fat loss. You know, my I coach healthy, sustainable fat loss, right? And someone could come on plan with me, lose 6 stone, and then meet their future partner, have 2 kids, and the tools that I'll teach them over the next 12, 18, 2 years, however long they want to work with me, they'll still be in place. However many, they can have 5 children and they won't gain their 6 stone back, right? That's why it's important to lose weight in the right way. Yeah. That's why it's so important to lose weight in the right way. Yeah. Pauline, I'm 5'1" female who lost almost 7 stone 45 years ago through calorie deficit. I'm not far off 70 and have proudly kept it off. Amazing all of this time. I do put the odd £10 on, then manage to lose it again. Pauline, that is what you're calling, what you're describing there. I put the odd £10 on, then managed to lose it. That's weight maintenance. When you're maintaining your weight loss, you don't sit. And Pauline, I guarantee the odd £10 that you put on might be holidays, Christmas, just every now and then. You just can't be arsed for it. That's life. That's life. But nipping a bit of weight gain at a £10 gain and then losing it again, that's weight maintenance. That's what everyone does, whether everyone's having a weight issue or not. I always say this. The majority of people, whether they've got a weight issue or not, gain weight over Christmas because they do things that they don't normally do on a day-to-day basis. They eat more food, eat more calorie-dense food, drink more, probably a bit lazier, don't move as much. And probably 90% of the country, whether they mean to or not, go into a calorie deficit in January. Because they literally January hits and they're like, oh yeah, no, I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that and this just for what I'm going to do dry January and this and that and all these little changes, and then they get to February and then they just go back to their normal eating pattern. The thing is, I now need to lose around £10 now, and it's so hard. I find it won't shift unless I eat practically nothing. I'm still very fit and active. Pauline, you've got to accept as you get older, weight loss gets harder. Why? Right? Because you told me you lost 45 years ago. So I have no idea how old you are now, and you don't need to tell me. But you're certainly over 45, right? And I'm going to guess, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you lost your 7 stone. You were an adult, so we're an adult at 18. So I'm going to guess you are at least in your early 60s, right? Why does weight loss get harder? And you don't need to lose 10 pounds now. You don't need to. You may be fixated on a number. Why does weight loss get harder as we get older? Right? Paulie's just put there, I'm very fit and active. So why does it get harder? So she's still fit and active. She's still got a good level of movement. And a lot of people go, it's age, isn't it? The body changes with age and this, that, and the other. The body does change with age. But I'd tell you the reason why weight loss gets harder the older we get. Right? And I've worked with a lot of clients in their 60s and 70s that really struggle. Right? Lifestyle. It's lifestyle. As we get older, and I'm not saying this is the same for everybody, but for the majority of people, as we get older, our lifestyles change. They change. We have less of a routine. You might be retired now, right? So you've got less of a routine. When you're retired, as we get older, we tend to have a bit more disposable income. So we've gone from meal prepping, going to work 9 to 5, right? Prepping breakfast, prepping dinner, being on it. It's a school night. We don't go out on a school night. We only go out for a meal once a week. To, no, well, I meet my friends on a Monday and we go to, flipping, we have cake and a coffee. And then, after the gym on a Wednesday, we go for a glass of wine. And then after this and after that. And now I am more semi-retired. I've got more disposable income, When I was in my 30s, we'd go on camping holidays with the kids and we're running around left, right, and centre. Kids have moved on. Now we go on 2-week Caribbean cruises and we do this and we do that. And when I was in my 20s, I was like, money's a bit tight this month. I won't use the car as much. As we get older, again, a bit more disposable income. Oh, look at this, Apple CarPlay. Oh, heated seats, heated steering wheel. Oh, yes, it might only be a minute to the corner shop, but it's currently 5 degrees. Now I'll jump in my car and drive there instead of driving around. It's all about lifestyle change. It's all about lifestyle change. And Pauline, you're 7 stone down. You're not. You're now 6 stone, 4 pounds down. All good. All good. Stop chasing numbers. right? We've got to accept as we get older and it's down to lifestyle change. What was our weight in our 20s, our maintainable weight in our 20s? If we're in our 50s, 60s, 70s, we've got to accept you don't sound overweight, you don't sound unhealthy, you're very fit and active. So how is that £10 going to change your lifestyle now? If you are retired, is it, as Keir Starmer written to you, say, Pauline, you're now £10 heavier than you ever have been consistently for the last 45 years. Because of that, I'm reducing your pension by, I don't know if you're retired or not, I'm just guesstimating. I'm going to reduce your pension by £250 a month until you lose that £10. No, you might have paid your mortgage off, Nationwide writing to you. We've just seen that you're £10 heavier, Pauline. I know you've paid your mortgage off, but we're actually going to make you pay £300 a month mortgage until you get rid of it. Do you walk into a clothes shop? Oh, £10 heavier. Add £5 to every single item of clothing that Pauline's going to buy because it's £10. Doesn't change your life. What does change your life is fixating on numbers and worrying about them all the time. Stay fit, stay active, right? And stop panicking about £10. Honestly, now Pauline's going to come back to me and go, no, actually, Neil, I'm 46 years old. I was born 7 stone. I just went to 0 from straight away from birth. So I'm just guesstimating there. But that's my take on it. That's my take on it. I'm all booked up for Portugal next October, so I've got extra motivation. I want to lose 4 stone this year. So are you talking October this year, Jen? Are you talking like in like 10 months' time you're going to Portugal? I love the motivation of a holiday. I absolutely love it. I was the first week of Jan, although I was on it and I was doing great and everything was hunky dory and the scales were doing what they wanted to do. I was like, the only holiday we had booked was June, end of June, early July. We're going to Tenerife. And I was like, anyway, we booked Benidorm mid-April, and that was giving me a right rocket up my backside to be like, that's it, that's my focus. I love things to focus on. You can be 4 stone down, Jen, by October, not a problem whatsoever. Right, let me scan down on 4 minutes, and I'm out. That's it. I know it's very exact, but I need to leave at 3 minutes now. I need to leave at past. So, guys, if you want to get on plan, if you are struggling, Pauline, if you really want that £10 off, come join my one-to-one plan. I'll sort it out for you. But you might have to do things that you don't want to do, right? Which is, and I think as we get older, we need to have that little bit of extra. I'm currently like 17.5. I'm going to put a bit of weight on, blah, 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 blah. But I can see me getting into my 50s and probably wanting to get down to around 15, 16 stone because my mobility is just going to get worse and worse and worse as I get older due to the issues that I currently have. But if I get down to 15s, and that'll just mean a change in my training, like now I'm going to go and build muscle for 10 weeks. I won't be doing that in my 50s. I'll just be trying to be fit and healthy and keep things going. If I get into my 60s and I go from 15 stone to 15.5 stone, and then I go from my 60s into my 70s and I go from 15.5 stone to 16 stone, it is what it is. I'm just going to take it on board because, I want to be retired. I want a little bit more freedom with my eating. I still want to be fit. I still want to be healthy. I still want to move, but it just is what it is. I still want to get £7 off by March the 14th for my holiday. Michelle, yeah, I think you could do that. 14th of March, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, £1 a week on average. It's going to be tight, but you might not be a million miles away. Let's say 5, and if it's any more than that, it's a bonus. Well, I do that. You can definitely do 5. What's the 14th of March now? February's only a short month, and it's 4 weeks exactly, and then 6 weeks. So £6. You can do 6, 7. If you get to 7, it's a bonus. Yeah, it's a bonus. But if you've got nothing on and you're really on it, why not? I've eaten 15 calories over my deficit this weekend. So what deficit are you still in, Life of Rem? Just flip it. Make it positive. Stop making it, I've eaten 15 calories over my deficit. Why don't we finish that sentence off? I've eaten 15 calories over my calorie deficit this weekend, but I'm in a 3,500 calorie deficit a week. So I'm still in a 2,000 calorie deficit. I've still lost over half a pound of body fat, and I've had a bit of food freedom over the weekend. All good. Right? So what calorie deficit are you still in, Life of Rem? You should know that. If you don't know what size calorie deficit you're in. If you don't know what your calorie maintenance is, you should know what your calorie maintenance is. Your calorie deficit should be based on that. You should know the difference, so you should know how big your calorie deficit is. You should be able to answer all these questions. If you can't answer those questions, your calories are incorrect. They could be too low, they could be too high. I don't know, but your calories are wrong. Right? Might only be wrong by 10. I have no idea. Right? But your calories are wrong. Your calorie allowance that you're sticking to now should be based on one number and one number only, the amount of calories you burn in a week. If you're plucking numbers out of thin air, and you don't understand what your calorie maintenance is, right? And if you've used an online calorie calculator, they'll definitely be wrong, right? Your calories are wrong. And this is what keeps you positive on the journey. This is where you go, yeah, I've gone 1,500 calories over my ideal deficit this week, but I tracked to a 4,000. I track to a 6,500 calorie deficit. That is what I track to. It's not an exact science because we've got no exact numbers to bear things off. Why am I so confident that my calorie allowances that I hand out are so good? Experience. I've done it for years. I've been calculating calories from my own calorie calculator for 6 years now. But I've also been working calories out for one-to-one personal training clients and tweaking and adjusting. I've done it for thousands of people. And when you've done it for that long, and not only done calories that long, then monitored the results. So I don't sit here on live going, oh, here's your calories, here's your calories, here's your calories. Yeah, when I give calories out in my community, unless my community pipes up and says, I've lost this, I've lost that, I've lost the other. But my one-to-one clients, they check in with me every couple of weeks. So I keep a constant eye on my clients and the calories I give them, and they're just right. And to the point now where I coach, where I don't even entertain anyone who goes, do I need to lower my calories? I'm not losing. No, the calories are right. I give out right calories. They're bang on. What isn't bang on is your tracking. What isn't bang on is your accountability. What isn't bang on is your movement. What isn't bang on is this, right? Let's put all those into place. Now, when you can come to me and go, I'm accurate, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other, right, and I'm still not losing, I'll go, right, well, let's have a look at your calories. I've done that 3 or 4 times over 5 years. And when I lower a client's calories, which I've only done 3 or 4 times out of over 900 that I've worked with, and guess what happens? They still don't lose weight. And then I just come back and go, right, so I gave you 2,000 calories a day on average. You weren't sticking to that. I've lowered them to 1,800 and you're not sticking to that. And if you can't stick to 2,000, are you expecting to stick to 1,800? This is what you're eating. And I know I've done that. I've done this with several clients. It was a good few clients last year, right? You're eating 2,000. I'm not Neil. I'm eating 2,000. My app says 2,000. You're not. You're eating 2,800. I don't care what your app says. I know you're eating 2,800 because you're maintaining. And that's what your calorie maintenance is. So what we need to find out is if you think you're eating 2,000, but you're actually eating 2,800, what we need to find out is where the 800 a day discrepancy is coming from, right? And I'm sorry, if an 800-day discrepancy, that's not, oh, I've not weighed the milk in my tea, right? No, something's got you. You're either really undervaluing what you're eating, you're not weighing, you're guesstimating too much, or you're just downright convincing yourself you're doing way better than you are. And sometimes I'll have that talk and I will lay it on the line. I'll be like, that's the case. Can't hide anything from me, right? You can't, right? I've been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, I know the lot, right? And when I have that chat with some clients, suddenly guess what happens? Oh, next check-in. Oh, you've lost 2 pounds because I've called you out, right? I've called you out. I don't want the BS excuses. And sometimes the BS excuses, and I'm not being harsh, we just convince ourselves that we're doing better. But that's the food addiction. That's the emotional eating. I'm not going, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. And deep down, we kind of know it. But again, that's the addiction. So I fully appreciate that. I'm empathetic to that. I genuinely am. But sometimes you just need some cold, hard truths. Sometimes you do. I didn't do that for the first few years of my coaching because I was a bit, you worry, oh, I don't want to upset people. I don't want to do this and this, that, and the other. But sometimes you've got to lay it on the line a little bit. And generally when I do, I get the right response, Time to go. Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go. I'm out of here. I need to go and see my mate Dan. He's finishing off my tiling. Today, tiling, finishing off the walls, putting the floor down, and then it's just a case of plumber coming in, I think, and doing the last bits. It's always the last little bits that take it. Anyway, I'm hoping. Well, and I've got B&Q need to deliver me a toilet, a basin. I've got a shower. Bought that yesterday, actually, in B&Q. Yeah, I need a toilet and a basin delivered. I think that's it. I've got something else from B&Q coming in. I can't remember what. Don't know. Anyway, that's it. And then I've got my bathroom back. So we're all good. Right, I'm out of here, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. Have a great Monday. It's a new weight loss week. New set of calories in the bank. Steps are 0. Let's get at it. Lay the foundations. A good Monday, a good Tuesday will generally roll into a good Wednesday. Set yourself up. Lay the foundations. If you need help, you know where I am. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Get to my link tree. Shop in my link tree. Monthly one-to-one plan. Click on it. Add it to basket. Go to checkout. Promo code. New year, new me. All in capitals. One word. Yeah. Accept whatever you need to. Hit return. That'll take sign up from 30 quid to £15. Then you signed up. Go onto an iPad or a computer. Order email. Download bits out of there. If I don't hear from you today, I'll message you anyway tomorrow and send you the downloads if you can't sort it out. Send over your consultation form. I'll write your plan up. Then you're on plan with me. And then you're going to have a successful weight loss journey. Have a great Monday. TikTok will sign for you first. I'll be back tonight, 7:30-ish. 7:30, 8. Might try and get on 7:30. Definitely on at 8. And we'll do a good hour later on. Have a great Monday, TikTok. And Facebook, YouTube, exactly the same to you guys. I'll be back, triple stream, Facebook, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. 7:30. I'm going to try and get on for 7:30-ish, but 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish. I'll definitely be on at 8.